Welcome one, welcome all to the three ring circus we like to call Lady with Leon. You see that sign back there? I made it myself. And I'm your host, the Destin Legend Leon Rogers, 1075 WGCI, a iHeart Media station right here in Chicago. And today I got some very special guests on with me. We like to call them knockouts, heavyweight hitters in their careers. First off, former light heavyweight champion, Olympic boxer with an incredible record right here from the city of Chicago, Mr. Montell Griffin. What up, Ice?
Leon, what's going on, bro?
All right. Second up, my man is a comedian and actor who's graced all of the late night shows. He does his thing. Very funny, talented individual. One of the super young guns of comedy. Leonard Outz in the building. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, big dog? Appreciate you having me.
I can't call it, little bro. And last but not least, we got to say the best for last. Beautiful, talented. She's responsible for the Yam fam. She's the Oprah Winfrey of Clubhouse. She does her thing. She's also a radio personality like myself and a comedian. Give it up for the beautiful and talented Miss Ty Davis. Hey, Ty.
Hey, Leon. Hey.
What's going on, man? First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. We'll have a great time here on Later with Leon. Let's start it off. Ty, I'm going to go to you first, ladies first. Are you excited that the world is starting to reopen back up and you can now get back out on the road on a regular pace, not like what we've been used to? It's been slowly trickling down, but now it seems like it's about to open wide back up with vaccinations going on and stuff.
Yeah, I am absolutely 100% happy about it. I'm ready to resume some new normalcy and definitely get back to work. So I've started, like I stepped out there for a little bit, but I'm really going to hit the road at the end of this month. So I'm excited.
Leonard, what about you? Because I know you were traveling a lot before the pandemic hit. I used to see you booked everywhere. How did that affect you? And are you happy that things are opening back up again?
I'm happy that it's opening up, and it seems as though at least, people getting vaccinated and people taking the right precautions and numbers are going down. Because, shoot, it was hard. When you used to be on the road 3-4 weekends a month, and then now you at home at all times, it's, mentally it was tough. You know what I mean?
Ice, running a business, you have a gym, Windy City Boxing, that you train a lot of children and youth. What was that like for you having to deal with the pandemic? And are you glad that stuff is opening back up and some of the restrictions are coming off gyms?
Of course. We was closed 2 months from I want to say we was closed 2 months last year, and I'm still paying back rent. So, it's crazy. It's a bad situation, but people had to, they sit in the house for so long. They want to come to the gym, so the membership is doing good and everything. So I'm cool, but it's kind of crazy because I was in Atlanta, and I walked up to I was in a bar and I'm trying to order a drink, and the lady was like, "Could you take your mask off so I can hear you?" And I was like, "This is crazy." So it's like the pandemic never happened in Atlanta, but it happened all over the United States. Right. I don't understand that.
Yeah, Texas and Atlanta and Miami, at Florida, I don't think they ever closed. I don't think they ever shut down.
Yeah, they've been kicking it.
Ty, how has the pandemic forced you to rechange how you move about and make money? What are some of the ways it forced you to change in making money?
The major change was being more active on social media. Before I would go live and, maybe post things, here and there. But with this this shutdown, I was like, okay, you got to do something, girl. You need to be active and still, assert yourself and be dominant enough that people don't forget about you. Because with stand-up, I mean, you guys know it's out of sight, out of mind. So I just really got aggressive and active with creating content on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. And so it's helped me in that respect. And then doing stand-up in non-traditional ways, like doing it via Instagram Live and on Zoom. And it forced you to trust your material, because when we were doing stand-up in the beginning of it, we couldn't even hear our audience. So you had to be firm with what it was that you were saying and believe that, and then go back and look at comments and emojis. So it definitely made me stronger as a stand-up comedian, and it forced me to be creative with being active on social media and growing my following.
And you know what? It's funny that you said that. You bring up the fact that when people first started doing comedy in the virtual world, you couldn't see your audience, or your audience was there, but you couldn't really get that vibe and that energy. And you, of course, you do radio. It's kind of like the same thing on radio. You're putting it out there. You have to have confidence in it because you don't know what your listening audience is doing in the car, or whatever. But somehow I feel virtual comedy for me is a little weird.
It is.
Like, you know, I'd rather not see you at all than to see you sitting there and I crack a joke and you like, it's like, I don't know if you screen froze, you laughing, you typing in the chat with the smiley emoji faces. It just doesn't hit the same. Leonard, how have you redirected of making money during this pandemic?
You know, I just pick different corners at night. You know, now they quarantine and there's less corners to be on. So, you know, you got to find one that's got, you know, like a 7-Eleven or a BP or something. And, you know, be out there, you know, kind of early, kind of late.
Yeah. Yeah. You under the James St. Patrick Act.
Yeah. No. I'm talking strictly Deuces. You ever seen Deuces?
Montell, you from Chicago. You from Chicago, brother. Chicagoan tried and true. Probably the best fighter to come out of the city. How did Chicago mold and make you? What was growing up in Chicago like to you?
Well, you know, my life is, you know, crazy. I was boxing from 5 to 13, and I quit for 8 years. So I was just growing up as a regular teenager, gang banging, smoking weed, chasing girls, and drinking. So I didn't live the life as a boxer. I came back in 91. I made the Olympic team in 92. So it was a different kind of life.
Speaking of that, some crazy stories coming out of Chicago, and I know they've hit nationwide, and I want to get all of your thoughts on it. Young man by the name of Adam Toledo, 13 years old, shot by Chicago police. He was raising his hands. There's been a big debate going on about people saying, you know, he brandished a weapon, but he was throwing the weapon down, and he turned and raised his hand, got shot in the chest by the police and died. And then just this past Sunday, man, in a senseless act of violence, 7-year-old girl was killed in the back seat of her car, waiting to go to McDonald's drive-through to get something to eat. And some guys ran up and shot up the car. Don't know for exact, all the information is not there. Was her father being targeted or whoever the adult in the car was being targeted? Ice, growing up here, and I try to defend Chicago every chance I get to my out-of-town people. And I try to tell them, you know, it's not as bad as you think. But then stories like this come out, which just absolutely irreprehensible and very, very disturbing that, you know, when you go to McDonald's, going to McDonald's for a child, that's like the amusement park. You know what I'm saying? You be like, we going to McDonald's. It's like, yeah. And to realize that somebody would have the gall to run up and shoot up a car with a 7-year-old on it, whether they knew that was in it or not, the audacity to do it. How do you cope with that being a citizen here? Like, how does it affect you mentally? I get tired of talking about it personally on the radio and being out here in these streets. I hate seeing it, but how can we make a change, and how do you deal with it?
Well, I mean, I heard y'all this morning talk about the girl. So, I mean, that situation is just, I'm just tired. Chris Rock said it best. I love Black people. I hate the N-word. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy in Chicago, man. People think that when I go out of town, they think people just run down the street shooting each other, like in the movies. And I said, it ain't like that. I said, it's like that in certain neighborhoods, but I don't visit them. So I couldn't tell you, but it's crazy. But as far as the police, I saw the video. I was a Cook County sheriff for 10 years. I went on the street with the police, so I ain't in their shoes. It's a dangerous job, but when a man do like, he threw the gun, it got to stop, Leon. I mean, these murders, okay, I'm just going to say this. If he was white, would he have died? No. So this got to stop. It got to stop. If he was white, they're going to say, Bob, I saw you throw the gun. Just come over here and sit down. We're going to take you to Denny's and put these cuffs on you. Then you're going to jail. But it's you know what I'm saying? It's terrible, man.
Ty, as a mother, and when you hear stories like this coming out of Chicago and you travel, let's just say, you know, somebody want to book you in Chicago. Do you have concerns? And as a mother, when you see stuff like this, what does your heart tell you, and how do you feel when you see stories like this?
You know, one of the people that I study and I learn a lot about is a woman by the name of Assata Shakur.
Yeah.
And one of her quotes is that people will get used to anything. And the less you think about your oppression, the more your tolerance for it grows. I think it's imperative for us to continue to talk about it. Because if we get used to it, then we don't do anything. Yeah, we need to talk about it. And yeah, we need to make solutions for the problems that we have. As a Black woman, I have daughters, but I also have 2 brothers, and I have cousins and uncles and nephews. And I have been on the receiving end of police brutality. So it's not just a Black man thing. It's not just affecting our children. I think that we need to be more aggressive in our approach with how we go about it. Am I scared? I went to CVS today, and I had to face some microaggression and some racism. I wasn't shot, I wasn't beat up or anything, but I had to deal with that. And we need to talk about it, and we need to find plausible solutions for the destruction and all of this stuff. The core of it, underneath it, with the situation with the little girl, the situation with the police, all of it, it stems from the same place. And Assata Shakur said, nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of their oppressors. So, I think that we need to be still talking about it, but we also need to be more active. And people aren't going to start to feel the way that we feel, or they're not going to acknowledge how we feel until we get a little more aggressive with our approach. That's how I feel about it.
Leonard, you come to Chicago a lot, man. You always see you come out here and kick it with the homies. You know what I'm saying? You stop through once in a while. Have you ever experienced that, like coming to Chicago? What is your feeling like when you come to Chicago, being from out of town?
Being from out of town, every time I've been to Chicago, and I've been from the south side to the west side to the north side, I've seen some stuff, you know what I mean? But you see stuff everywhere. But it's like the energy and love that you get while you're there is like, it can almost blind you until you see something major. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that I'm still in Chicago. You know what I mean? I don't know, honestly.
It's like, for me, the problem that I have with, and like, don't get me wrong, I hold police to a higher standard than I do anybody. So the Adam Toledo thing, I thoroughly was upset about it. The young man made a bad mistake by dropping the gun in front of an officer that had his gun out, and the officer made a mistake. I don't think he wanted to kill the kid. I think he was scared. And my thing is, you shouldn't be the police if you're going to be scared. That's like saying you're going to become a fireman and you don't like fire. You're going to have to deal with fire, so you can't be scared. But I also look at my community when we're quick to protest about a kid getting shot by a cop. But then when something like this happens to a 7-year-old, the streets of Chicago should be flooded with people outraged and turning these shooters in, because the hood knows who does what. We all know who get it in. And I hate the whole no snitching thing, let the streets handle it. Like, nah, man. No, I don't want the streets to handle it. I want them to get their time. I want them to live the rest of their life behind bars, because this 7-year-old girl did not get a chance to live her life. And I think that's what hurts me the most, that we'll protest about the police killing somebody, but ain't out here in the streets marching hard for the little homies in the hood that's blowing each other away every day. You know what I'm saying? I think that disturbs me more than anything. Talking about a man of the people, Montell, you grew up around Muhammad Ali a lot, man. You had a relationship with him and your dad, who was a great trainer, and you and Muhammad Ali spent a lot of time together. What was that like, being around a legend like him?
It was great, bro. I was 5 years old. My father showed me a video of Muhammad Ali, and a while after he said, "Come on, get dressed. I'm gonna go show you this. We gonna go see the guy I showed." So of course I ain't believe him. I think I was gonna see Ali. It was 10, 15, 20-minute drive. I walked in the office and I saw Muhammad. I said, "There's Muhammad Ali." And the first thing I saw was like 10 people in line, and he was just giving everyone one by one, giving them money. And I said, man, that was cool. And when he was done, he walked over to me, told me, "Come here," put me in his lap and kissed me. And I still had that picture. It was just a great experience in my life.
There it is, man. We'll be right back, man. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be back more later with Leon. When we come back, I'm going to ask Ty about back in the day, did she maybe have a Ronald Isley type sugar daddy vibe thing going on with somebody? We're going to find out when we come back later with Leon. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Later with Leon. My guest tonight, former light heavyweight champion Montell Griffin, the beautiful comedian extraordinaire, Miss Ty Davis, and my man Leonard Outz. One more time in the building. Thank you all for joining me on my platform. Ty, before I left, I kind of brought up a little something that back in the day, before Yam Fam got started, before the Yam Fam got started, you might have had your little Mr. Big situation at your job. You want to explain that to us? Like, you used to work at a cable company and, you had your options of cable.
Everybody has a past, and I don't want to be judged for mine.
No judgment. No judgment here.
When I was a little young, fine foxy thing out in these streets, I used to only date men that were older than me because they had more things and more stability, and they looked out for you, girl. And then when I went from a spring chicken to an old hen, I found that there was comfort and enjoyment with the younger demographic. So now my variety of what I like is from young to old. So 21 and up, so yeah, back in the day I had a little something mean, Clarence and them,
But so from what I'm hearing, maybe this is a rumor. I want you to correct it right now because I got you on here. This is an exclusive. So you were dating an older man that worked at the cable company with you, and he kind of sweet talked you into dating him, and then y'all relationship continued after he got married.
Yes.
Go back.
Again, we all have a past. I don't want to be judged for mine. I made some choices. I'm not proud of all of the choices that I've made, but I do stand by the choices that I've made. And yes, I was once involved in a bonus bay situation, if you will. Some people call it a paramour. That's a nice word for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have done that before.
So Ty, you're from Carolina, but you live in Baltimore. What made you make that move?
My mama is from Baltimore, and she was in the military my whole life. So when she retired, she was like, I'm coming back home. I was like, well, you're not leaving me down here. So I came with her, and I've been living in Baltimore now for 20 years now. And I started my stand-up comedy career here.
What made you get into stand-up?
People always, told me that I was funny and that I should try it. And I never wanted to do it. I just was like, oh no, I like stand-up, but I can't do what I see comedians do. I'm just funny around family and friends. And then one day my life was in shambles, and a friend of mine, comedian out of Baltimore named Crystal Tavern, she was like, we should go and do that. And I was like, all right. And I ended up seeing her do it, and I was like, oh, I'm so proud of you. And she put me in connection with a promoter that she was doing shows with here. And I did my first set November of 2014, and I fell in love the very first time that I did stand up, and I've been doing it ever since then.
Wow. So Leonard, you too from North Carolina, man, and it's a lot of heat that comes out of North Carolina. Yourself, Ty,
I'm
man,
Nick. Virginia. I'm from Virginia. I ain't from
Virginia. I don't know why I thought you was from Carolina. Or you moved to Virginia, or is it the other way around?
No, I'm from Virginia. I moved to New York.
You moved to New York. Okay. Well, Ty, I know it's a lot of hot comedians come out of North Carolina. Yourself, Nick Lewis, James. So it's a lot of funny people. Now, you coming from VA, that area down there. Shout out to Norfolk. I've had some wonderful times out there when I was stationed in the military and got to slide down there for a month. I might have a son out there.
I probably went to school with him.
Yeah, he'd be 26 right now. Anyway, what was it like for you, Leonard, starting out in Virginia and then making your way up to New York? Because that's a huge jump from the kind South to going past the Mason-Dixon up into rough-ass New York, where the crowds there are different than everything else. Was it a difference for you? A culture shock?
It was. I was 18 when I started doing stand-up. I was a college student. I dropped out of Virginia State. That's when they brought back Comic View with some more. I ended up booking that. And then I was working at like IHOP. You know, I was like 19, 20 working at IHOP, and I just decided to move to New York because it was nothing else I could do in Virginia. Moving to New York was a culture shock. You know what I mean? Like, I'm from Chesapeake. My dad was in the military. Like, I grew up with like houses and, you know, like suburb area, like not a inner city type vibe. Like, when you get to New York, everything feels inner city. Like, everywhere you walk around, it's like it looked like The Wire. Like, no matter where you at. So to go from like, you know what I mean, neighborhoods to projects on every corner in the Bronx, you know what I mean? It just puts another type of energy about you. You know what I mean? It make you want to hustle because like you see everything moving 1,000 miles per hour. You don't want to get left behind.
Yo, so I heard you found your love for comedy on a bus. How did that going to a championship game, to a football championship game? You kind of started playing. Tell me a little bit about that, man.
I'm from the Hampton Roads area, like Michael Vick, Allen Iverson, Sweet
Chuck.
Pea. Come on now, you know Sweet Pea, the boss. Rest in peace. Exactly. So I'm from that type of area. So the football team I played for in high school, we were like my sophomore year, we won the state championship. We were like number 1 in the state, number 2 in the country, on max preps and stuff like that. So coming back from the state championship game, you know, I had full energy. I didn't play. So, you know what I mean? I'm on everybody that did something wrong in the game. You dropped the ball. Pow, pow. I'm killing everybody. Coaches too. So yeah, man, I just always been funny. It's like nobody ever, like you won't find anybody I grew up with or just ever met me to be like, he do what? It's like, oh, all right, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Montell, when did you discover your love for boxing? Because I know you said you took some time off. You started young. You went to like 13 and then you quit for like how many years and then you got back into it? What rekindled your love for boxing, or did you ever lose your love for boxing?
I mean, really, I never lost the love, but I was so upset I couldn't box. My mother made me quit when I was 12, going on 13. I was just still living in our house. I got a phone call from my nephew one day. I'm sitting in the basement, fat, broke, everything. And he said, Uncle, what you doing with your life? I said, nothing. He said, come to LA and box. And I said, okay. And I answered him so fast that he didn't believe me. So I sold my car for $500, bought a plane ticket, moved to LA. And a year later, I was #1 in the nation.
Wow. So story has it, you come back in 91, you try out for the Olympic team, and you make it. Talk about that process. What was that like? What was the training like? What was the struggle like? Was it a tough thing for you or was it easy work?
I just put it like this. I watched the 76 Olympics with my father. I remember Ray Leonard getting a gold medal. And when he died, and I thought about coming back, I said, I gotta get him a gold medal for my father. And so I moved to LA. I just say this. I had a very, very, very good pro career, but making an Olympic team was the greatest experience of my life.
And how did you fare in the Olympics?
Well, most people know, I fought the German in the quarterfinals. I was beating him. I cut him. I hit him, cut his eye open, and they gave him the point. And I ended up losing by 2 points because they took 3 points from me with 45 seconds to go. I beat the silver medalist a month before the Olympics. So it bothers me to this day. I don't have a medal to show, and I beat the gold medalist and silver medalist. It's just crazy.
Wow. So what's your boxing record right now, today as it stands?
I had 50 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw with 30 knockouts.
Wow. Very impressive. What kind of tolls does that take on you mentally and physically? We talk about football players with CTE. We look at Muhammad Ali. We look at Tommy Hearns. We look at Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Is that some worry to you that you stayed in the ring too long or you took a lot of punishment? Like, does that worry you about as you get older and up in age? Will you be affected like those fighters were?
No, because I was a defensive fighter. I fought 20 years, and I think you guys talking to me, y'all wouldn't know I was a boxer unless somebody told you. So I took boxing seriously. It's life after boxing. I never wanted to get hit. If I got hit one time in sparring, I would be pissed for 3 or 4 days. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I was known for my defense. I had great defense. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Marijuana fixed my brain damage. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
I used to slur, I used to stutter a little bit. Marijuana fixed my whole vocabulary. Everything is coming out beautiful now. And I want to say thank you to marijuana.
You won the WBC light heavyweight title in 1997. It was a much publicized fight with my man Roy Jones, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Fight ended in a little bit of controversy. Y'all talked about it. I remember the press conference. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't get with that left hand style, that southpaw style. It was the first time we had ever really seen Roy frustrated. But then in the press conference, man, it got a little slick between y'all. Was that personal, or was it just for selling the fight?
I mean, it's never personal. It's just business, man. We try to make money. We businessmen. You know what I'm saying? I didn't call guys, or I didn't have somebody call somebody. I had Vernon Forrest call Tarver and tell him to Tarver, like, hey, man, look, I'm number one. You number two. Let's just make it work. You know what I'm saying? It's all about business, man. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no personal stuff. But like to this day, I'm cool with Roy. We keep in touch. But I say, Roy, your fans love you so much that they hate me because you hit me when I took a knee. Because he didn't knock me down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
His fans love him so much, they hate me because he hit me. It's just crazy.
Illegal.
I mean, I frustrated the man. He was a pound for pound fighter, number one in the world when we fought. Nobody to this day have done to him at his prime what I did to him. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Fair. As far as the rematch, it's in my book. It's true stories. I told Roy about it, about what happened to me. He didn't deny it. I got a book out, The Ice Life. We can talk about. You'll find out about what happened in the rematch.
All right, man. We got more coming up from Ice, Montell Ice Griffin, Ty Davis, and Leonard Outz when we come back right here on Later with Leon. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Later with Leon. Listen, if you want to see more Later with Leon content, you want to see more on Fox Soul, follow us on Instagram at Fox Soul. Go join the YouTube channel, Fox Soul. Click that subscribe button. Click that like button. I got a very heavyweight cast of characters on my show tonight. The beautiful Ty Davis, comedian extraordinaire. My man Leonard Outz, comedian extraordinaire, and former light heavyweight champion, now comedian, my man Montell Ice Griffin. Ice, let's go back. We were talking about your two fights with Roy Jones. Now in the second fight, and I want to ask you this as an athlete, how do you bounce back? Because Roy got the best of you in the second fight. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem, when I watched the fight, it didn't seem like you were on your A game like you were in the first fight. So how do you bounce back from a loss like that? What type of mental fortitude does it take? Because for us, it's like being on stage at the Erie Crown Theater, Chicago Theater, and you bomb. Well, and then you got to go out the next night and still work a club the next weekend, but you got that on your record. How do you bounce back from that, bro?
Well, first of all, even though on the outside world, they saw me lose in the first round, I was there. I know what happened. I got stabbed in the back. I talked to Roy about it. He didn't deny it, and I just left it alone. But as far as you saying,
hold on. I can't just gloss over that. When you say you got stabbed in the back, come on now. I need the deets.
I'm finna text you a conversation me and Roy had. I said, no, I'm gonna text you, but the whole, like I said, I wrote it in my book. F the book.
Give us a little something. I know you want to sell the book, but give me a little something, bro.
Okay, the day after the fight, Chris Berg, heavyweight champion of the world, called me and said, I'm sorry, what happened? I found, like, I ain't gonna say his name, but he said, they told me what they did to you. I said, that's crazy. It took me 20 years before I saw him again. I said, what happened with my fight with Roy? He said, we got you. He said, we rushed you in, we F'd you, and your manager and promoter knew about it. I said, that's crazy. Well, everybody there knew what happened. I never warmed up 5 minutes for that fight. If you watch the fight right now, listen.
You cold.
If you listen, the commentary, HBO say, Roy Jones has never started this fast. They knew I wasn't warmed up. They set me up. A Roy Jones camp member told me in my face what happened. It is what it is. I don't even care. But just to show you how good I was, how much confidence I had, the fight after Roy Jones, I fought Vincent Durham, a man who some people thought beat James Toney. I didn't pick no easy fighter. I picked a man, a tough man, because I knew who I were, or who I was, or whatever. It's not the right word, but I knew who I was, so I knew what happened. To this day, I don't have no problem about that second Roy Jones fight, because I know that wasn't the real Montell Griffin. So I leave it at that. But you know what I'm saying? It's in my book.
All right, we got to make sure people go out and get that book to read that, because I never knew that. I'm gonna
send you the text I sent Roy, and he never denied it. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. So listen, man, here on Later with Leon, we do this segment called Why People. You know, it's like, why people? Why do people do some of the things they do? And today on Why People, you got to be careful about them PPP loans. Take a listen.
Hey, there you go, baby. You don't see me knocking on your door? What's up? Baby, what's your last name? What's my last name? Yeah. Milan. Your name Milan, so you use me for a PPP loan?
Yo, so this is the thing that's been going around. People have been getting PPP loans in other people's names. And this chick, you know, since now they made all the information public where you can go see who got the PPP loans, she went and found this chick address and pulled up on her. Here in Chicago, it's rumored to be that some people are taking this list and going in and kicking people's doors in, trying to get money from them. Child, what do you think about this? And will you be checking that list to make sure ain't nobody using your name to get that money?
Well, listen, child, I saw something on the Facebook earlier today about a list being posted here in Baltimore about people that were flexing, you know, with money. And I just was like, ooh, that's not my monkey, not my circus. I'm gonna mind my business. But I didn't know that people were using other people to, that woman was well within her rights to pull up, because it's a loan. You got to deal with the IRS. You got to deal with them people. Yes. And if you using somebody else's name, not only is it a crime, but you jamming somebody else up. So you gonna catch this fade. I support it.
Leonard, what would you do if, let's say, a close family member like your brother or your mama used your name and got a PPP loan and didn't say nothing to you about it?
I don't even know, honestly. I'm telling. Because by the time I figure it out, they ain't got the money no more.
Right.
I'm definitely
put rims on the Challenger and everything. You still
all type of stuff. Grandmama wheelchair got rims and no, I'm good.
Grandmama got exclusive Jordans. Like, I ain't even get them on the app.
She only got 1 foot, but she got 2 pairs of Jordans. No, I ain't.
Ice, what if you found out somebody had a PPP loan in your name, man?
I'm going over their house, but I'm taking, you know, concealing carry is legal in Chicago now. I'm going, hey, what about the unemployment? I talk to somebody, you know how Chicago is, Leon.
Yeah.
It's scammers. If you live in Chicago, you can live anywhere in the world. We the most grimy place in the world. They doing unemployment, PPP loans. It's crazy.
Taking EBT cards, they doing everything. My mother got a thing saying that she had filed for unemployment. She's like, I ain't never filed for no unemployment. They had a card and everything. They just made a mistake and couldn't intercept it before it got to her. So it's crazy out here. That is absolutely.
They done filled your mama paperwork out for
her? Yeah, filled my mama paperwork out, and just thank God she got it in the mail before they intercepted it. And they would have been drawing unemployment off her name. It's crazy out here. Montell's not lying about that. It's super grimy. The scammers and the card crackers out here are another level.
Yeah, that's
another level. Ty, what can you tell us about the Yam family?
The Yam fam, or the Yamily, is a wonderful group of supporters that I was exposed to by doing Zooming with the Homies. Is Tahir Moore's show that he does on YouTube, and he has such a big following, and he's been bringing comedians on there, and he's brought me in to guest hosts on the show several times. And so, you know, whenever they like you when you're a guest on the show, they kind of give you an emoji or something like that. And one night I said something about yams, and these yams, you know, my yams look all right. And, you know, anytime I would go on the show, they would put yam emojis in. So I was like, well, let me see what I'm gonna call my fellow, you know, yammers. So I just came up with the Yam fam, something silly, the Yamily. And they were so supportive. They were like, we want to buy merch. Do you have merch? And I was like, I don't have any merch. And someone that watched the show, he created a design for me. And then there was another young lady that created a design.
Oh, wow.
So both of those designs were the first logos that I used for the merchandise and put them out. And my Clubhouse Oprah merchandise is also because of someone by the name of Young Deuces. Shout out to Hippie Goals and Young Deuces for creating the designs for that. So,
can everybody get this merch at one site? What site would they go to grab it?
Yes, so everything's available on one site. If you go to my Instagram page and click the link in the bio, there's literally the first link says Yam Fam merchandise, so you can get Yam Fam, Yamily, and the get yo, you know what I say on the Clubhouse merchandise. But yeah, it's not just for women or men, it's for everyone. So if you're a woman, no matter what size your yams are, Ty Davis loves you. If you're a man and you love yams, hey man, we love you. So you can get your Yamily and your Yam Fam merch. So yeah.
Okay, so that's good for the corporate side and the seller side. Now talk to me about what is Candy Yams with the 3 Z's.
So Candy Yams is the name that I call myself in my mind. Like if I ever decided I was going to be an exotic dancer, my exotic dancer name would be Candy Yams with 3 Z's, because these yams be putting them boys to sleep. So that's why I said that. Why do you know this, Leon?
Hey, we do our research here later with Leon. We dig deep. No pun intended. Leonard, you appeared on Conan O'Brien and Jimmy Fallon, and you did so at a young age. How did that feel getting that shot? Because a lot of comics who've been in the game for years and years don't get a chance to go on those platforms. What did that mean for you getting that type of push early in your career?
I think it is because of those OGs that came before me that weren't given those opportunities. That's really what means the most to me. Like my OG in Virginia, Bodacious.
I just worked with Bo. Me and Damon Williams and Bo just did a show together in Chicago, man. Funny brother, man. Hilarious.
One of the funniest out. And it's really coming up on the, people like him and Talent and, Smokey Suarez and then being able to be, be on at the same time on the other side, being around Tony Woods and Greer Barnes and being around people that actually did go do it, to be able to kind of put those energies together within myself and go, and go show them why they should have put the other side on too.
Yeah. RollerStone.com labeled you one of the top 10 comics to watch. Now, in reading that article and seeing that press about yourself, how did that make you feel? And how do you not get a big head? How do you not get a big head? Because I mean, Rolling Stone, that's big time, bro. That's like being in Variety.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It ain't no need to be big headed. I'm funny. I've been funny. It's just y'all realizing that. Like I've been lit. Like it ain't, there's nothing new except for cameras now. That's the only thing different between now and high school is that we all get paid. The basketball players getting paid millions, comics getting paid, boxers getting paid, people that like to fight get paid, people that like to joke get paid. You know what I mean? It's all the same. It's just like high school again. You know what I mean?
No
that's
doubt.
how I look at it. So that's how I kind of ground myself.
You've appeared on Wild 'N Out, Master of None, Joking Off. How does acting differ from stand-up, or do you go into it with the same philosophy?
No, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same philosophy. Because one of them is just you being yourself, and the other is learning how to be yourself through this lens. Whereas, okay, if you book me to play a character, the best way I can do it is pretend that I'm the character. But I gotta also put the ramifications that you need on how I go about that, if that makes sense. Whereas stand-up is I just go do what I want to do. If I want to dribble left, I'm gonna dribble left. If I want to dribble right, I'm gonna dribble right. If I want to pass it, I can pass it. So I definitely think acting can be more challenging, but that's the fun part.
Which one do you prefer more, acting or stand-up?
Stand-up.
Ty, what about you? You got the looks of a leading lady in a comedic sitcom. I can see you doing something on the TV screen. Which one do you like? Which one do you like better if you had the chance to do both, or if you've had the chance to do both? Which one do you like better, comedy or acting?
Stand-up comedy is my first, last, and forever love. I would, of course, love to do acting, and I've done some small things, had some auditions, but it's stand up always.
Ice. Now I'm gonna ask you, Ice, being in the ring or being on the microphone, which one you like better? Standing in that ring and throwing them bowls for that bag, or just getting on that mic and which one is more intimidating? That opponent across the ring or that audience that don't know you and you got to make them laugh?
I mean, you know, boxing and comedy been 1 and 1A in my whole life. My father was funny. He looked like Red Fox. He let me listen to Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby when I was a kid. Then I saw a guy named Eddie Murphy. Muhammad Ali and Eddie Murphy are the two most important men in my life. Eddie Murphy and Muhammad Ali are my two biggest idols. So boxing got me ready for comedy. You know what I'm saying? I fought in front of 60,000 in Kazakhstan. So I'm not scared if somebody boo me on 35th Street. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That don't bother me. That don't scare me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like now since I've been on the stage, like this the first year. I've been doing this off and on, messing around for 5 years. This year right here, we in April. This year is the first time I ever took comedy serious. I done worked, I've been on the stage maybe 10 times in 5 years. But right now, this year, I've been on stage like 4, 5, 6 times. I just blew up riddles. I blew up riddles on Stick Show, bro. I blew up riddles on Stick Show, bro. I blew it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep getting better. I mean, I just need the experience. You know what I'm saying? My man Mark Simmons let me work at this place. So yeah, I'm finna, man, you finna hear a lot of me, bro. I'm funny. I was born funny. I could just fight.
There it is. We'll be right back. More later with Leon, Montell, Ice Griffin, Leonard Outz, and my girl Ty Davis. We'll be rocking right here Later with Leon. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Later with Leon. Remember, if you like what you're seeing, go to our YouTube page, Fox Soul. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. Get those likes up. And of course, follow us on Instagram, Fox Soul. Follow at Later with Leon on Instagram as well. Got Ty Davis, Montell Ice Griffin, Leonard Outz, comedians extraordinaire on the platform. Montell Ice Griffin, former light heavyweight champ. And a lot's been going on in the women's movement, right? And we've been talking a lot about Me Too. Back in the days, a lot of people then got canceled because of the whole Me Too movement. Well, my good friend, writer Jay Davis, and us came up with a little sketch, and we give a little insight on the whole Me Too movement. Take a look.
I remember she invited me over to her house, you know, and we're all snuggled up on the couch.
Anthony picked me up last week, when I tell you.
And her best friend, Sharice, called her.
The best time I had in a long time. Pipe down. All the way down.
I've been putting friends on. Hashtag Me Too.
Now, Ty, I got to come straight to you off this. Have you ever put somebody in the friend zone and regretted it?
No.
No. Everybody you put that deserve to be there. What does a guy have to do to not get in the friend zone? Or do women have that made up in their mind already? He'll never be anything more than a friend.
I mean, you know, it's subjective. So for me, if I'm just like, there are men that are attractive and they're smart and they're funny and they're all these things, but it may not be the right chemistry. If we're not on the right frequency and the right vibe, then you're better as a friend instead of as an intimate partner. So the friend zone is not always a bad place to be. Like, you can ask any of my ex-boyfriends, I'm sure they would have probably preferred that I just friend zone them, and they never did any of the stuff that we did. So that's not a bad thing. And I've been friend zoned too. Like, women get friend zoned by guys. So it's not always bad.
But it's different though. That's not
wait. What you say, Leonard?
It's a different type of friend zone that y'all in.
Yeah, I don't think attractive women get friend zoned.
They don't. They get I shouldn't do this right now.
Yeah, at all. Ty, you've been friend zoned before. I want to meet this dude.
It's a whole bunch of them.
He better be dating Beyonce.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know that I'm attractive. I know that I know that I look good.
Right.
But that's just not enough. Like there have been guys that I've shot my shot at. I came at him, Michael Jordan style, LeBron, and shot blocked. And I was like, I'm not his type. It's cool. I get it. So it happens.
So they turned you down on all shapes and sizes. I'm not saying they turned you down for a relationship. I'm saying they turned you down for a night of fun. Because see, when we say friend zone with men, it's like, nah, fam, all you can do is take me out to eat and be my dinner date and we cool and make me laugh. You'll never see me naked.
Wow. No, yeah, but
I'm just saying that's what the friend zone be the guy.
I mean, I've been friend zoned from, hey, I'm just trying to, smash and dash, to, hey, I really like you and let's get to know each other. I've been friend zoned from all sides of the spectrum. Just because I'm cute don't mean dudes all like me. That's not how it works.
I as a guy, when we get friend zoned, it's not that. It's you're my friend when I'm feeling sad about this other dude. Montell has made me mad. Can you make me laugh and make me feel good? And I'm going to go and leave and go back to Montell and be his woman. But you that really like me, I'm going to leave you in the friend zone. That's what it is to guy. So that happens to women.
So then my question to the guys that would be in that friend zone, my question is, have you verbalized, articulated what your feelings and intentions are to that woman? And if you have not or have, then you need to create and enforce some boundaries, because if she's only coming to you when she wants you to be her place of peace and refuge, when she's getting dogged out here in these streets, you know your worth, King. You need to let her know, oh, nah, you're not coming here for just that. Nah, I'm the prize.
I give you that.
Like, well, why we gotta be? Why we can't just? Why you can't? I need you to be. That's how y'all be. Like, don't act like you're very well spoken and make it seem like y'all are amazing. That's not what y'all be on. Men be very direct. I can ask a chick like, "Hey, what's up with me and you?" I mean, you gonna say everything except for what is either. This is what I've come to see from women of my generation. I'm 28. Women have gotten to this point where they can finesse their way out of conversation where you don't know if it's right or wrong. It's like, hey, I can come up and be like, hey, Ty, I think you're very attractive. What's up? What's up with me and you? Let's go hang out. I mean, we can hang out. Then you didn't say it. You didn't say a little bit of what I wanted to hear, but then my ears and got numb from your voice, and you just slid a whole bunch of other stuff in, and then I don't know what's going on now. We went out. You don't know if we together, if we not, if you like me. Like, it'd be too many questions after you done hung out. Like, after I spend my money, I need to know some definites.
So here's the thing. I'm 40 and I'm in a different space in my life. I am in therapy. I do the communication and the work that I need to do. So if I know that I am not attracted to you or I am not interested in you in this way, I'm going to be clear. So know your worth, Leonard. Tell her that you ain't doing that.
You tell them up front.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just throwing a general out there. I ain't playing that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep it real. You hit us with the Dr. Strange hand signals when you was just talking to us a few minutes ago. You opened up another portal. I'm going to keep it 100, G. You hit us with the Dr. Strange, yo. Hey, we'll be right back. More Later with Leon coming up. This has been an incredible show here on Later with Leon, man. I got three greats in the building. Montell Griffin, Ty Davis, Leonard Outz. Ice, what you got coming up, man? What you got going on? What can we look forward to you doing, man? Real quick, 30 seconds.
My book out, The Ice Life. My link is theicelifebook.com. I got my gym, Clarence Griffin Winter City Boxing Club in Lacuna Lost, 2150 South Canalport. Anybody that needs to lose weight, come down to the gym. We got you. We got classes. My man, Doc Nicholson, my man, Malik Salam, Xavier Knowles. Much respect. icelifebook.com.
Leonard, what you got going on, little bro?
Got a couple things going on. I can't really, it come out this week, but just got a tour on the way coming out this summer. Got a couple shows we, developing. We working. We got some stuff going on.
And the Queen, Ty Davis, what can we expect from you in the future, young lady? Except your magic wizardry.
I will be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, April the 28th for Lawrence Killigrew's birthday show. I will be on Keep Your Distance Comedy. Shout out to Kev on Stage in Los Angeles on April the 30th. I have some other dates that I will be doing in the month of May and June. So I'll be touring a little bit. Just follow me on Instagram at comedian Ty Davis. The link in my bio will plug you into all of the other places that you can find me, but I'm getting back on the road.
Hey, man, that's going to do it for Later with Leon. A heartfelt prayer goes out to the family of that 7-year-old girl that was killed tragically in Chicago. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. You see something bad out here in these streets, it is your duty to say something, man. My name is Leon Rogers for the Fox Soul family. We'll catch y'all next week. My homegirl, the Tammy Mack Late Show, is up next. Keep it popping, man. Love y'all, America. Peace.